This is the plaintiff, Michael Jackson. He says the defendant's one of those landlords that try to take advantage of their former tenants, and she should be ashamed of herself. He's a patient man who always tries to do things the right way, but sometimes nice guys finish last, and he has no choice but to sue his unscrupulous landlord here in this court today for the $2,625 he's owed. This is the defendant, Geraldine Demetz. She says the plaintiff is a sneak who was constantly trying to get over on her, but she's a pretty smart cookie who was onto him and his schemes from the beginning. She has all her ducks in a row for court today, doesn't owe this man a cent, and feels pretty good the judge is going to see things her way today, and she will walk out of here with even more of his money. She's accused of trying to take advantage of a tenant. The defendant has filed a countersuit for the state max of $3,000 for rent owed and damages.
All parties, please use your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Michael Jackson, you are suing Geraldine Demetz for $2,625 that you say you are owed from your former landlord and she refuses to pay. You are counterclaiming against them your statutory max of $3,000. According to you, you're out way more than that. For rent and damages. Talk to me. Tell me what happened.
I've been renting from the tenant, well, the landlord for 2 years with her. A year before that, she bought the premises when I was living there with my dog and my wife and 2 children. On August 9th, she sends me a long, drawn-out text babbling about her her taxes going up and the insurance for the dog and all this other stuff. So then she tells me that she wants $1,750 a month and for me to sign a lease because I wouldn't sign a lease the year before that because she had 3 college kids living upstairs and they were driving me crazy. I mean, I couldn't sleep at night. I had to call the police several times. They finally moved out. Everything was good.
So why didn't you sign a lease then?
Because I told her the next tenant comes in. Well, the next tenant came in, they were kind of noisy. She put hardwood floors upstairs. There's no insulation in the ceiling. So if you walk, just walking, you can hear it downstairs.
All right, so you decide you're not going to sign a lease, so what do you say?
So I told her that, we're not going to do the lease.
Okay, and this is when that you tell her that?
Oh, that was before. I told her that.
When do you tell her that?
That was last year. I told her I'm not going to sign a lease until I'm comfortable with somebody.
Can you please tell me when you told her you were leaving? That's what I'm driving at.
I told her I wasn't leaving. I didn't tell her I was leaving.
Okay,
she gave me an ultimatum.
She tells you either you sign a lease or you got to go.
Exactly, on August 9th.
And then you pick, well, then I got to go. And when is that? Listen, you can't talk at the same time. You need to wait your turn. Okay, so when is it that you tell her I got to go, that you give her a specific departure date?
Your Honor.
I'm not asking you.
But I have to print
I don't care what you want. You're really irritating me. You keep interjecting, and that's not how court works. He's the plaintiff. He goes first. You will go when I ask you a question. Stop. Stop.
It's not like that.
Stop, or it's going to be over sooner than you think. Go ahead.
So we moved out September 30th. They got us into the apartment.
When is the day that you signed for the new place?
The 30th.
Of August?
Of August.
All right. When is the day that you told her I'm moving out?
August 26th, she sends me a text. I will need the house back in original condition as it was the first day you moved in. Have until the end of next month, that's from August 26th, she sent me, the end of next month to get the place back into restoration and start showing the apartment around beginning of September. Okay, so that tells me that she's expecting me to leave by September.
Did you ever tell her that you'd be out by September 30th? We
talked on the phone. I told her I'm not going to, I'll take her offer on the, and we'll leave. I didn't tell her what date exactly.
Right, and that's the point. You didn't tell her what the date is.
I didn't have a specific date.
Did you pay the month of September?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so now, can you show me when you give the 30-day notice? And the answer is no. You're saying it was verbal.
No, it would have been a verbal notice, but I'm going by what she's telling me to.
So what happens when you do leave? You move out on September 30th?
Yes.
And then what happens? You do a walkthrough with her on what date?
On the 3rd of October.
And then what happens?
Nothing. We did a walkthrough.
Does she say anything about the condition of the place?
She complained about the carpet. She said the dog pissed all over the carpet. The dog has never peed in the house.
Okay.
Okay.
Was there a smell?
It was a dander from the dog because he comes in the house wet. He lays on the carpet.
Were there also rips in the carpet?
There was a tear from the couch because from opening the couch, I didn't know the couch was broke. So from opening the couch bed, it put little runs, tears. I can show you on the
It's not
tab.
little ones, tears. Is the carpet ripped or isn't it? And do you have pictures?
I got pictures right now.
All right.
Pictures.
All right, so these are the pictures that you introduced into evidence of the condition you left the apartment in. Here's what I'm looking at here. Here's the carpet. Hold on. All right. Why is there like rectangle size?
That's where a friend of mine's buddy works at a carpet place. He said he could patch the floor. He just did a quick cutout to show me that it would work and you would never see it.
Well, I'm seeing the cutout, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No, he said it takes about 45 minutes to get it in there. That was just him lining it up, cutting it with a razor.
Do you have a picture? Did you do a repair?
No.
Oh, well then how do I know it's going to work? Because she's asking for you to replace the carpet based on that.
Well, like I told her, for the living room carpet, and that's the only place the dog was on because he didn't go in the kids' room because my daughter's allergic to it.
Is it all the same carpet throughout the whole apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, all right. So your security deposit is what amount?
This whole security deposit was
25.
25, yeah.
Okay, and rent per month was what amount?
$1,750.
All right. Ms. Demetz.
Yes.
I know you're busting at the seams to talk to me, so now is your turn. Talk to me and tell me what kind of tenant was he and what's the issue that you won't return the security deposit.
I do have texts on my phone, Your Honor, but I got them printed out too. And in this one here, the text that I received from the defendant, it
He's the
says,
plaintiff.
we will pay the $1,750 until we leave, hopefully by the 31st of October, possibly the last day of November. Want to try to make a payment for a month with the apartment empty. Then...
Okay, hold on. So tell me then, that's when? What date is that text? Can I see it on your phones? I keep asking for the text.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see it on the phone. Did you find your text? Yeah, I'm a champion scroller.
If I could say something, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Then abruptly, after him telling me he will be there to November, December, what he's saying then is, he didn't even say, he texted me, I moved out the keys in the mailbox.
Okay, what is the date of the text that you just read to me?
It's on here, it's on there, Your Honor.
On September 12th, she sends you a text saying to you, are you still staying at the house at least until December? Because I will need that 2 months of notice for the realtor to begin to show the bottom apartment for rent. Your answer is, sorry, I was on the road. Yes, I talked with my wife. She and I agree it would be better to move. That's September 12th. And then here you say by the 31st of October, possibly the last day of November. I don't know what could be less notice than that. And then it's October 1st, and then he sends...
He wants to do a walkthrough on October 3rd.
Good morning. The apartment is empty. I touched up the paint, cleaned the apartment. I found 2 tears in the carpet in the living room under the couch. That's the only damage there is. I left you my refrigerator. It's a good size, works well. I left 3 air conditioners so you can rent it as an air-conditioned rental. I still have to get rid of the trash on the back porch. We'll do that next week. Trash container's full. Let me know when we can talk about the walkthrough. So in October, you're asking for the rent of $1,750 for what, September?
No.
Yes.
For October.
Did you get September?
I did get September.
So when you were asking, it was for October.
October. I told him when I came to the walkthrough, I expect to have the $1,750 for that.
October.
For October.
And you expected that because you had no clue that he was leaving that quick.
Exactly, Your Honor.
All right, so now let's talk about the damage. According to you, what damage is there?
When I went with Michael to the walkthrough.
October 3rd, you do the walkthrough. And when I went in, all the windows is open. And the smell of urine, I know what urine smells like, hit me right upside the face. When you have a dog, a bulldog or I got to tell you, the urine is the least of the issues if there's a tear in the carpet and it's all one carpet in the whole place.
Like I told Geraldine, I had no problem with paying for the living room carpet. That's where the dog spent his time.
But you have an issue, and the issue is that the whole house has the same carpet, and that's a design, choice to put so everything looks bigger. There's no break. So when you say I'll pay for 2 feet of carpet, that's not how it works.
But Your Honor, it was never her intent to have that carpet in there. Her intent was from the beginning to tear it out and put in hardwood floors like upstairs.
Doesn't matter. That's maybe her intent. She's not going to get hardwood floor.
But that's what she told me
Yeah, but she paid many thousands of dollars for the hardwood floor. That's not, she gave me an estimate for what it would cost to put in a new carpet, which was pretty reasonable. Okay. It was like $20 a yard, was it? Let me see it. All right. So talk to me about tightening the cabinets. I mean, the guy lived there 3 years. Why would that?
No, what do you hear, Your Honor? This is what happened. I had tenants ready to move in at the 1st of December. I put $7,000 in the floors, $2,000 in painting, and I'm saying, oh, this will go through the CEO with no problem. So then, when the CEO came through, this is what the CEO said that has to be done before I can put the tenants in. Okay, but what of that
are damages he caused? I mean, the thing's loosened from use. Nobody's hanging on him, swinging from chandeliers.
Your Honor, I did not know.
Okay, you didn't know. Now you know. Okay, smoke alarm's not working. What would a tenant do that would cause that? Tighten cabinet doors, the open ones. Okay. So you had to tighten the cabinet doors after the guy's living there for how many years? 3 years?
3 years.
Okay, and stove not lighting.
Right.
So what ended up happening? Your tenant had to move in.
I had to go and buy a new stove.
Okay, but what did he do to break this? Why is this stuff on him?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So does the tenant have to buy brand new carpet, or can they just cut a piece out where the damage is? What do you say?
I mean, it depends on what the owner of the place wants,
Well, no, the owner of the place wants probably a wall-to-wall carpet. Do you have to do that?
No, you could just piece it in. If it looks fine, you can piece it in.
Can you piece it in?
I don't believe so, because if there's different carpets, and I feel like if it's not the same carpet, the same material, or there's...
What if it is the same carpet, but it's a different lot?
Well, it's different age, so it's still, the quality's going to be going down over time.
And the color may be different, too.
Definitely.
Exactly. Going inside the courtroom.
There are things that you're responsible for, there are things that you are not. You have a claim against her for your entire security deposit back, but you've acknowledged that there should be something for the rug. You have a claim, and that's all you acknowledge. You have a claim against him for the rent for October, which I find that you are entitled to, based on the text that I am seeing, and for the removal and installation of carpet. As it turns out, that's not what you ended up doing, but that's not what's relevant. If somebody rips a carpet, somebody has to put that place in the same condition that it was in when you gave it to them, minus the depreciation for the used carpet, which is, kind of ridiculous when there's no market for a used carpet. But in any event, I find the $1,500 and $1,560 for that is completely reasonable. The other stuff that you feel he owes you, and I'm speaking about that first because that's what gets deducted from the security deposit to figure out if there's any money due either place. The rest of the money for the stove and all the things that the CO demanded, take that up with the CO if you don't think it's fair. But there's not one iota of evidence that this is anything that he broke, and he will not be responsible for that. So the $1,750 of rent plus the $1,560 of the carpet leads to $3,310. You have to give adequate notice on a month-to-month, which means that you let the person know 30 days beforehand. If the person is nice and says to you, I'll give you a month or two, that's not your notice to them. You still have the burden that every month-to-monther has, which is to give them sufficient time to try to rent it out and not have to eat November, which is what ended up happening to her. She ended up eating October and November, all right? So that's $3,310. You already have $2,625. That would mean a net judgment in this case between your lawsuit to get it back and your lawsuit to get the excess. I am ruling that you are not entitled to anything back. In fact, you still owe her an additional $685. Not everything you're asking for, but some of it. What I went over, which is the rent and the carpet. That's my verdict. Net judgment in favor of the defendant, $685.
So the defendant gets $685. Mr. Jackson, you get zero at this point. You okay with the way it worked out?
It works out. I'm just glad to be done with her. She's she's nuts.
Okay, well.
She claims the dog's been home peeing on her rug.
I know, you've gone through all of
and
that.
I
All
just
right.
try to do what's right.
Well, thank you very much. You're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gone. Okay, all right. I thought you were going to get in trouble with her right in the very beginning. I'm glad you shut your mouth when you did, okay?
Thank you. Yeah,
you would
I'm
not
glad I
have
did.
$685 or whatever it is you're
Okay.
walking out here with now. You satisfied?
I never wanted even this to come here at the first place.
Okay.
I only got something about 2 weeks ago to say I have to go to court. I was willing to let everything go.
You were?
But to tell you the truth, I am more than satisfied. I really am.
Good for you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Nice smile. All right. There you go. Bye-bye. Harvey?
So here's the deal. The plaintiff is not entitled to a new carpet. The plaintiff is entitled to the value of the carpet at the time that it was damaged. And unfortunately, it's kind of crummy because you have to buy a new one and you have to pay retail and you're only going to get probably a small percentage because it's an apartment carpet.